Today, we are going to be ranking the worst purchases that you can make when you're young, from slightly bad to what were you thinking catastrophic mistakes. Because look, the truth is, most people in their teens and 20s stay broke for one simple reason: they waste money on dumb stuff. And by the end of this, you'll know what to avoid and what's just overhyped. So the truth is, I've probably spent most of my money on some of these things, so I'm talking from experience. And if you don't agree with this, don't get your feelings hurt. If there's things that you like to spend your money on this list and it's in the financial sabotage list, good for you. That's great. But I'm telling you, if you want to get ahead in life, don't spend your money on this stuff. Let's get into it. All right, first on the list here, we have credit card debt. Now, most of you can assume where this is going to end up. Look, credit cards can be great. I understand being young and trying to build your credit. I opened my first credit card when I was 18 to start building my credit. The problem is carrying a balance is a trap for most teenagers and 20-year-olds, and honestly, whatever age you're at in life, we're all at some point get trapped in credit card debt. And the problem is credit cards nowadays have 20, 30, 35% interest, which is just absolutely crazy. So if you buy a $100 shirt, by the time you actually pay it off, it's $140. And the minimum, if you ever look at your statements, your credit card statements, the minimum payments, like if you pay your minimum payments, it will literally keep you in debt for like 20 years. And they do that on purpose. It's literally a treadmill where you're just running in place while the banks profit off of you. So use your credit cards wisely, because if you don't, they are going to use you. And for that reason, credit cards are an easy, just financial sabotage up here. Those are like one of the worst things that you can really start getting into. Number 2 on the list is buy now, pay later. Now, I'm going to expose myself here. When I had my Subaru, I pretty much bought every single car part for that Subaru with a buy now, pay later program, and I thought it was the best thing in the world. As the years have gone by, I have realized that buy now, pay later is a trap because it feels harmless. It's $20 every 2 weeks. What's the harm in that? But the problem is you stack a few of those and suddenly you have like a whole other car payment you're paying every single month. And it's invisible debt. So that's like the worst part about it. You don't feel like you're spending any money, but you're looking into the future and then you realize you have $5,000 sitting on a firm that you're going to have to pay off someday. So for that reason, buy now, pay later programs, these are just bad. I wouldn't call them financial sabotage, but they're just bad. Stay away from it. Buy it if you actually have the money in your account. That would be my recommendation to you. All right, next is gym memberships. And before you get all like, whoa, gym memberships, why is he calling out gym memberships? This is specifically gym memberships that you don't use anymore. If you go to the gym every single day or you go a couple times a week and you're healthy, go for it. Gym memberships are awesome. But the problem is a lot of us, I was one of them too, you buy a gym membership, you start paying $25, $50, I've seen even $100 gym memberships, and then you never go to the gym. Just cancel it. Start working out at home. Start doing push-ups at home. Go on Amazon and buy $100 worth of workout equipment and do it at home. Because if you're paying for a gym membership and you're never going to the gym, there's no reason to go. Like, think about it this way. Planet Fitness is literally making millions off of people who haven't stepped inside the gym in months to a year. And if you're actually going, once again, great. But if not, cancel it, work out at home, and stop donating $25 to $50 a month to just random guilt for not going to the gym. So for that reason, this is just a common money trap. I'm sure a lot of us have done this. I've done this. Common money trap. Next on the list is designer clothes. Look, I get it. I'm into like hype beast stuff. I get, Chrome Hearts is cool. People like going to high school with denim tears on. I get it, bro. You want to flex on people. You want to let people know you can afford a $500 sweater. The older you get, the more you realize that it's just stupid. Like a lot of the designer clothes, they don't even feel that good compared to like normal clothes. I wear true classic like $5 t-shirts, and I'm telling you they're more comfortable than some of like the $100 to $200 Supreme shirts that I have. And most of the times too, I mean, these clothes are just ugly. And look, if it wasn't cool, you wouldn't be wearing it. Just be honest with yourself. If denim tears wasn't cool, you wouldn't have a denim tears hoodie. And when I say cool, I have like air quotes, because at the end of the day, you're just buying it because everyone else is buying it. And it's just like, why are you spending $500 on a hoodie or $200 on a t-shirt or $300 on jeans? And don't get me started with some of the Chrome Heart stuff. It's like so expensive. And it's like, you can literally invest that money to the point where you could buy out Chrome Hearts. Like, why would you even buy the t-shirts and just waste your money? So for that, designer clothes, this is just bad. This is like, I wouldn't say it's financial sabotage, especially maybe you buy one shirt here or one shirt there. But it's just bad. Don't spend your money. Don't spend your hard-earned money on designer clothes because at the end of the day, bro, no one cares what you're wearing. I walk around in $5 t-shirts. No one looks at me differently. I hate to admit it, but it is what it is. All right, I don't even want to talk about this one. Car mods. Look, if you're a car guy out there, you can relate to this. I have spent so much money on car mods. I don't even want to. Between the Subaru I had and the BMW after I did big turbo and 3-piece wheels, no lie, I've probably spent over $30,000 of my hard-earned money on car mods. And the worst part is, I don't even have those cars anymore. Look, I get if you're a car guy, so I'm not going to say this is financial sabotage. And obviously the cars I did have, I love them and they brought me so much joy and happiness. And it was fun being a part of the car community. But at the end of the day, car mods are so wasteful. And if you're not a car guy, the reason car mods are so wasteful is 99% of car people will tell you modding your car actually lowers the value to a certain degree. Yeah, sure, if you have like a brand new M3 and you do a big turbo kit on it, you might be able to sell it for more money. But the majority of time when you mod your car, it lowers the value even more than you're already getting the value lower on the car itself. So car mods are just one of those things that is just a common money trap. If you're a car guy, at some point you're going to do car mods, and then 5 years down the road when you don't even have that car anymore, you're going to be like, why did I pour all that money into that car? But it's still fun at the end of the day, so common money trap in my opinion. All right, luckily I haven't had to do this for anyone or I haven't had anyone ask me to do this, but I know some people who have been asked to do this by their friends or family, and please do not do this. This is one of the biggest wealth killers in my opinion. If you think you're helping someone out, whether it's friends or family, by co-signing for them and you're in your teens, or probably you might come across this more when you're in your 20s and you're making good money, do not do this. Do not co-sign for any of your friends or family. That might sound like quote unquote selfish, but just don't do it. If you want to give someone help, give them advice. Don't give them access to your credit score and let their financial decisions impact your life. I'm sure some of you guys might know someone who's done this for somebody, and I would say 90% of the time this ends in a bad way. So don't do this. If you do, go ahead and do this. Straight up financial sabotage. I don't care if you can trust your family members or your friends. Just don't do this, period. All right, I'm going to offend a lot of people with this next one here. DoorDash, Grubhub, Uber Eats, I do not care what you want to call it. The whole of buying food and having it sent to your house. I've done DoorDash a few times. You guys have to be making $100 million a year. $100 million a year to be able to comfortably afford DoorDash. I have DoorDash. I'll be on here. Let me tell you guys a story. One time, me and my girlfriend were house sitting, and we wanted McDonald's drinks because, as you guys know, there's nothing like a McDonald's Coke. It's the best there is, right? I DoorDashed 2 medium drinks, and it was $15. I don't even know why I did it. We really just didn't want to leave the house. But there's people that DoorDash every day. Get up and go get your food. I know you're already typing the excuses in the comments. Well, I do not care about your excuses. Get up and go get your food. DoorDashing has to be the biggest waste of money ever. It is so expensive to DoorDash anything. I thought about DoorDashing Chipotle a few nights ago, and it came out to like $55. And there's people who just go for it. That is insane to me. Stop DoorDashing. Stop using Grubhub. If you use it once a month out of convenience, okay. Do your thing. But if you're DoorDashing more than 3 times a week, I promise you are pissing that money away. I wouldn't call it financial sabotage, but this is just bad. DoorDash, Grubhub, all that stuff, it's just bad financial stuff. Go get your food, enjoy some fresh air, and save some money. Here we go. Gambling and lottery tickets. Look, I'm going to give you guys some real world advice. If no one's told you yet, I'll be the one to tell you. You are not going to hit it big on a scratch off or a slot machine. Casinos, they're built for you to lose all your money. It's design psychology, the bright lights, the free drinks, the easy bets. Your bank account, gone with the wind. If you want to burn $100 for fun, but you're gambling thinking it's a side hustle and you're just paying for someone else's retirement, please do not gamble. Look, I get maybe buying a $5 scratch off when you go to the gas station. Nothing wrong with that. But please don't gamble. I feel like there's like a whole wave right now of guys gambling and online and making money off of it. Listen, If it was that easy, everyone would do it. I say this all the time with a lot of things. If gambling was that easy to make millions and hundreds of thousands of dollars, everyone would do it. Please do not gamble if you're young. I know you can't gamble. What is it, like under 18? If you're over 18, please don't gamble. Please, and sure, you can buy one lottery ticket here or there if you really want to, but gambling and lottery tickets is not going to get you where you want to go in life. I promise you that. And because people have very bad gambling addictions, this, in my opinion, is financial sabotage. Please do not start gambling. Please don't go crazy on lottery tickets. Use that money, invest it to somewhere where it might not be as fast as a return as you want, but you're going to get a return on your money. Next is going to be random hobbies. Now, what I mean by this is we've all had random hobbies come up where, you might think, oh, you know what? I'm going to be a golfer. I'm going to be into golf for a couple weeks, right? So you go, you buy $500 worth of golf clubs, you go out golfing, you buy $30 worth of golf balls, you play golf for 2 weeks, and then you never play it again, right? I'm sure you all have hobbies like that. And it can be anything, just starting something for 2 weeks and then giving up on it. Everyone needs a hobby, in my opinion. Everyone should have hobbies and things they enjoy. But it's the little random hobbies that we pick up and we dump a lot of money on, and then we just never revisit those hobbies again. Those are the financial traps. For example, I'm into golf. When I first got into golf, I first started playing with my friends where I was able to use their clubs. Then after I realized I liked it, I went and I bought all secondhand equipment. Everything, even the bag I used, was all secondhand. And now the more I play, the more I start to upgrade my equipment. And you can apply this to a whole bunch of different hobbies. Start slow. Don't just jump into it. If it requires a lot of financial backing up front, maybe rethink it. Just think, how can you get into the hobby without spending a lot of money? Like this guy right here, he's woodworking. Woodworking is a very expensive hobby to get into. It requires a lot of space, and it's one of those things that if you're not 100% sure you're going to be the next master woodworker, maybe go to a workshop for a weekend. You don't have to buy all the equipment at Home Depot yourself. So because I think everyone needs a hobby and it's something we all do, I think this is just still wasteful. I wouldn't say it's the worst thing in the world. Just be careful before you start dumping all this money into a hobby that you might not even be doing in the next month or so. Ah, yes, the high-end PC. I did this myself, but I'm not going to go crazy on high-end PCs. I get people like PCs. I'm one of those people that when I get into something, I get into it like completely, So here's the thing. If you're building a PC and you're not trying to like do crazy stuff, you just want a gaming PC, I promise you do not need a $6,000 gaming PC that's water cooled with liquid nitrogen and metal and gold plated hardware. I promise you do not need it. I built my computer 6 years ago for $2,500, which 6 years ago, $2,500, that was pretty expensive in the computer market. And this computer still runs every game on high to ultra high quality, still over 60 frames a second, still works and operates as it should be. So I understand if you're buying a PC as an investment to maybe invest into your business or something, but really ask yourself what you are using the PC for. Because if you're just trying to play Minecraft at 60 frames a second, you do not need a $5,000 water-cooled PC. An $800 setup on PC Part Picker, I promise you it will get you by. So high-end PCs, I'm going to put this in the still wasteful category because, in my opinion, it's one of those things that if you do it right from the start, your PC will last you a very long time. Just really ask yourself and audit what you're actually going to use the PC for before you go crazy and start adding the newest graphics card and all of this just to play Fortnite. Impulse online shopping. I'll tell you guys another story. When I was 17 or 16 and I was working my first job as a dishwasher, I was getting paid under the table. And every time I got paid, I would deposit that money into the account at the Wells Fargo across the restaurant. And I would go on Amazon and just buy something. I don't know why. It was just nice to have my own money. And every time, every paycheck or every under the table payment I got was like $120 for the week. And I remember I would deposit it, go on Amazon and buy something. The truth is, online shopping and Amazon and places like that, they make it way too easy to just buy random stuff because it's cheap or it's on sale and it shows up tomorrow or the next day. And then it's just going to sit in a drawer for the rest of your life. So before you click buy now, like even if you've noticed, like Amazon has that thing where it's like you don't even need to add it to the cart anymore. You can just click buy now and it ships to you. So before you go crazy online impulse shopping, please, just like the PC, make sure it's something you actually need, and you're not just buying random stuff online because it's on sale. It's going to show up to your house the next day. But we all go through this at some point in our life, and I think to a certain extent, it's not financial sabotage. This is just a common money trap that we all go through. It's just impulse online shopping. Be careful before you get that thing shipped to your house. It's going to show up tomorrow, because do you really need it? Ask yourself that. This has been the new thing now, is luxury apartments. Now, this one's sneaky because when you're young, you get your first job, you suddenly want, a Instagram-worthy downtown apartment with the rooftop access and, the rooftop gym. But here's the problem. Nowadays, luxury apartments have just gotten very expensive, but have very poor build quality. And not all of them, but a lot of them. The other thing, too, is rent should not be half of your paycheck. Once you commit to that quote-unquote luxury rent, because they do charge you more for it, you can't downgrade as easily without feeling like you're going backwards. So if you jump headfirst into a luxury apartment and you're like, man, this is too expensive, and then you downgrade to a quote-unquote cheaper apartment, you're going to feel like you're moving backwards, and not a lot of people want to accept that. And the costs stack. Higher rent often means higher utilities, more furniture, and just that overall lifestyle that's just going to snowball. And in your 20s, the smartest move is to live cheap. Roommates, if you can, smaller places, lower square feet, cheaper rent, less fancy areas, because there's nothing wrong with renting. One of the most popular videos on my channel is about how I want to rent instead of buy in my 20s. Nothing wrong with renting. But the caveat is, I don't plan to be a lifelong renter. I want to rent so I can save money to buy. And getting into these $3,000, $3,500 apartments because they're quote unquote luxury, it's just financial sabotage, because you'll never ever be able to save for that house when you're paying that much money on a quote unquote luxury apartment. Well, raise your hand if you spent your money on this. I should see everyone's hands up. Microtransactions have become a normal part of society. $2 here, $5 there for skins and upgrades. Rocket League, I've spent so much money. When I was really into Clash of Clans, I spent so much money. And the thing is with microtransactions, what's so dangerous about it is you're like, oh, it's $2, who cares? But the problem is, over the years, you might have spent over $1,000 on microtransactions without even realizing it, because it adds up. And gaming's fun, so you want to progress in the game, and you don't want to wait 12 hours for your goblin hut to upgrade. But then you're dropping $20 to let that happen, and it's like, why would I you just be patient. You know what I'm saying? So in my opinion, microtransactions, they can get very out of hand, but I would say for the majority of us, these are just little mistakes. Microtransactions are little mistakes that we all make, we all can learn from, we can all get better from. And most of the times we don't really regret it right away, but then when we look back on it, we're like, man, I spent $40 on a game I don't even play anymore. Or I spent X amount of money in the Rocket League shop so I could have a new decal, and I don't even use that decal on my car anymore. So microtransactions, in my opinion, are just little mistakes that at one point in time, especially if you're a gamer, we're all going to make these little mistakes. So we just got to get better from it. And here's another one that I'm just not, I've done half this list already. New cars. This is, in my opinion, also, I would say out of everything on this list, other than maybe credit card debt, this is the biggest one that I see almost all of my friends do. I'm sure you guys have done it. I've done it. Everyone's done this at some point. And that's this is classic. It's just buying a new car. Look, you graduate or you start getting your first real job and paycheck, and immediately it's like, you know what? If I do the math, I can afford a $50,000 car. And the problem is, it feels like a reward, right? We want to reward ourselves for our hard work. That's how I always justify it. Is I work hard, I should reward myself with a car. But the truth is this: you guys have all heard this. The moment you drive off the lot, it loses 10 to 20% of its value. Now, here's the problem. We've all heard this, but no one cares about it. But let me ask you this. Imagine if I told you, hey, I want you to invest in this company, but the minute you buy the stock, your value is going to drop 10 to 20%. None of you would buy that stock. But why do we do it with cars? Because we can drive it? It doesn't really make a difference. And then here's the problem. You're locked into a $500,000, $700,000 car payment for not 1 year, not 2 years, usually 6 to 7. I've even seen 8 years now, which is just crazy. Don't forget insurance. Don't forget maintenance. Don't forget gas. In over 5 years, you've paid so much money and you're left with a car that's literally worth half of what you paid. I mean, you see people going upside down on cars all the time now. Meanwhile, you have someone that bought a reliable $5,000 Toyota Corolla from 2008. They have no car payment. They invest that money in their savings. And guess what? They're richer than you. I get you want the fancy car. I get you want the new technology. And a lot of the thing too is like with new cars, you use it to get from point A to point B. And if you're working most of the time, you don't need a new car. And I get, look, we all are going to make this mistake. I made this mistake before, and these have been the worst financial decisions for me is the new cars, because especially with down payments and stuff, they just add up. So just be careful. Don't trap yourself. If you're in your teens or you're in your 20s, I get that you want a new car. I get you want to reward yourself, but do not trap yourself into a really high car payment, because this is just straight up financial sabotage. We've all done it. We've all been there. This should be at the top of the list, in my opinion, as the biggest financial sabotage there is. I can already see the comments on this one. But I'm living my life. I want to have fun. I want to live my life. Look, I'm not telling you not to go out and not to have fun with your friends. My point is this. Partying, nights out, drinking is such a waste of money. You can have so much fun without going to a bar and spending $300 on alcoholic beverages that are just going to get you drunk and make you feel like shit. When I turned 21, I remember me and my girlfriend, we went to this restaurant that we usually like to go to, and we've been to this restaurant a few times. So it's like, I know roughly how much the bill is going to be for two people. But we had turned 21, so I think she got 2 drinks and I got 1 drink. The bill was $40 more than I was used to for 3 drinks. It is so expensive to buy alcohol. Then plus you're going out, you're spending random money on random people that you're never going to see again. I'm not telling you guys not to enjoy your life. I can already see the comments now. I'm trying to have fun in my 20s. I'm not telling you not to have fun. Just please don't spend that much money when you go out if you want to go out, because I promise you, this is such a waste of money. I'm one of those people that I don't really go out on the weekends, and I promise you guys, I have saved so much more money than most people. And especially if you go to the clubs. I don't go to the clubs, but you drop $300 to $500 on bottle service for a table you can't even sit at, and then you buy rounds for your friends, and the next morning you don't even remember how the night went. So look, going out occasionally is fine, but making every weekend a $100 plus night routine is going to destroy your finances. So all I'm trying to leave you guys with this is fun does not equal expensive experiences. You can have plenty of fun without spending all this money on drinking or partying. So in my opinion, this is just bad. This is just bad. Not for the reasons of enjoying your life, just for the financial aspect of it. This is just bad. All right, here's a sneaky one, in my opinion, that a lot of people probably don't do enough of, and that's auditing your utilities. So the thing is this, a lot of people should look at how much you're paying for utilities, whether it's internet or electricity or whatever it might be. Paying $120 for internet when your neighbor pays $60. You can simply find it out if you're friends with neighbors. Ask how much they pay for this, how much they pay for that, just for simple utilities, because the truth is, you can sometimes call these places and say, hey, I found a more competitive rate, and they'll lower your rate. This can be car insurance. This could be anything. It's just auditing your utilities or your reoccurring expenses like insurances or anything like that you have control over. Audit them, and most of the times you can actually get the rates lowered and make it easier on yourself to make these payments monthly. So this would just be a little mistake in my opinion. This is something that I feel like not a lot of people do, but you'd be surprised at the effect it has if you go through and you audit your utilities and you call these companies and you say, hey, I found a more competitive rate, or hey, I'm with a certain company. This can be even with phone plans. Hey, I'm with T-Mobile and I want to switch to Verizon. What can you guys do for me? And sometimes your bill will actually get a lot lower. So that's a little mistake, but definitely slept on in my opinion. Next is this is just a classic of just spending money, and that is going to be Starbucks or just coffee in general. I used to be a barista. I have a lot of knowledge on coffee and the prices of coffee. And here's what I'll tell you guys. Even as someone who worked at like a cool coffee shop where we had freshly roasted coffee and we ground everything and I did latte art, coffee is not supposed to be this expensive. I'm just gonna if you didn't, if you needed to hear it, I'll be the one to tell you. Coffee should not be $7 a person, $8 a person. My girlfriend showed me TikToks of people that are ordering $12 coffees for themselves. Coffee should not be that expensive. If you're drinking coffee for the simple effect that you want to be energized, go to your local Walmart, buy yourself a Mr. Coffee machine, buy yourself one syrup you like and one, creamer or milk you like, and just start making your coffee at home. It'll save you so much money. Even if you go out and you buy the most expensive Nespresso machine, it will pay you back for it. Trust me, because there is no reason you should be going to Starbucks or Dunkin' or 7 Brew. I do not care where it is. There's no reason you should be going there and spending all this money on coffee. And I get it. You want it, to look cool and walk into work with your Starbucks. I get it. But I'm telling you, this is a common money trap. People should not be spending this much money on coffee nowadays. It's just not worth that much money. It should not be this expensive. So please do yourself a favor. Start making your coffee at home. If you want to argue that you don't have the time for it, wake up 10 minutes earlier. There you go. Now you have the time for it. Make your coffee at home. Don't fall into this trap of spending this much money on coffee. Next is going to be your classic subscription overhaul. You got Netflix, you got Hulu, Disney Plus, HBO, Spotify, Apple TV, whatever else you have. And suddenly, now you're paying $120 a month for 20 different subscription services that you barely use. I'm not telling you to get rid of your subscriptions. That's not what I'm saying. This is what I'm going to tell you guys. Audit your subscriptions. If you are paying for over 3, let's say you have 5 different, streaming services you like to use. Pick one to two and cancel the rest. And if there's a show you like on one of them, and you don't want to cancel that one, just cancel it until you want to watch the show again or something. Because the problem is a lot of people rack up all these subscription costs and they don't realize that they're spending over $100 a month on streaming services that they only use once a night, and they could probably trim 2 to 3 of those easily and save themselves $60. This is a common money trap that we all fall into at one point. I've never been the one to stream like TV shows or movies, but just having random subscriptions that aren't even TV or movie related, it really adds up. So this is something I recommend all of you do. Audit your subscriptions, figure out which ones you can trim. I'm sure you can at least trim one, and trimming one saves you $20, and that $20 right there can go to something else. So trim your subscriptions. Don't fall into the common money trap of having an overload of subscriptions, and just be careful with it. I don't know if this is a hot take or not, but upgrading your phone. Now, I know a lot of people that when the newest phone comes out, they go and upgrade it. And I just don't understand why. I have the iPhone, I think I have the 13. So I'm 3 phones behind now. My phone works fine. The camera's still good. I can do everything I want to on my phone. All I do on my phone is text people and watch YouTube. I can do all of that. I don't need to buy another $1,500 phone to do that. I don't need to upgrade my plan. I don't know why people have great phones and then just upgrade. What I think it is, I think people want to show off, I have the newest iPhone. But do people really care about that? If someone came up to me and was like, I got the newest iPhone, I wouldn't care. So it's just look, if your phone works and you're a few generations behind, just enjoy your phone. You don't need the newest Apple iOS. Just because it looks cool and has different colors doesn't mean you need to put yourself back into debt for it. Because at the end of the day, you know how it is. Next year, a new one's going to come out. And they're going to be like, well, crap, this one sucks. So enjoy your phone. If your phone's on its last leg, go and upgrade it. But the majority of the time, you can go buy a few generations without needing to upgrade your phone. So in my opinion, upgrading your phone, let's put it in this way. If you upgrade your phone when every single new one comes out, this is just bad. Now, this is one that I don't know if you expected to be on the list, but weddings. Now, let me clarify something. Weddings, in my opinion, are great. It's a moment that you and your loved one are going to share for the rest of your life. But in my opinion, too many 20-year-olds, I would say, spend way too much money on this before they even have a savings account. Or they want to look, I know it's controversial, but here's the thing. Let me put it to you this way. Let's say you're 24 and you're getting married, but you're not financially stable and you're planning on a $30,000 wedding and you want to buy a $5,000 engagement ring. Why? Why would you do that to yourself? That one day does not make your marriage any stronger, in my opinion. It'll be cool when you look back at the pictures if you guys stay together, but it's going to lock you into debt and stress both of you out. And if you guys didn't know this, the biggest cause of divorce is financial reasons. If you look it up, I think over the majority of divorces are caused because of money. So a wedding is about the people. It's not about the price tag. If you're going to have a wedding, you don't need a $30,000, $40,000 wedding. And if that's what your wife wants, I get it. But bro, talk to her first, because keep it reasonable. Because if you love someone, they'll love you back without the giant financial sinkhole that you're going to put yourself into for this massive wedding. You don't need to spend that much money on a wedding. And if you want to spend that much money on a wedding, both of you should save up and get like an emergency savings first and then spend that money on the wedding. That's how I see it, at least. This, in my opinion, this is just bad. Don't spend crazy money on a wedding if you do not have the means to afford it. And last but not least here, we have the collectibles. I don't know what it is about these little Labubu things. My little cousin's staying with us and she wants one. I don't understand the hype behind it. It's all hype. You do not need to spend your money on this. And look, I really like cause figures. If you guys know what cause figures are, I think they're cool. But the truth is this. If you really want to buy a collectible, and I already can see, I know people are going to be in the comments being like, bro, but these Pokemon cards are financial freedom in a Pokemon pack. Cool. My point is this. Most of the times these collectibles are a waste of money. Bear bricks, whatever collectible you can think of, most of the times they're a waste of money. Now, if you enjoy collecting collectibles, like you truly enjoy it, you're not doing it for the hype, I completely get that. If you're for some reason in love with these little Labubu things and you think they're the coolest thing in the world and you want 50 of them, I can't fault you for that. But at the end of the day, if you're buying this to keep up with the Joneses and because it's cool on social media, please do not fall into this trap of spending your money on these things, because in the next 2 years, you're going to walk into school or you're going to walk to college or walk into your job with a Labubu thing and someone's going to be like, why do you even have that? That was cool like 2 years ago. Because these things fall in and out of trends so fast, especially with the hyper speed that we have of social media nowadays. So in my opinion, collectibles, they're a common money trap. And just so you guys know too, I'm not talking about collectibles like sports collectibles and stuff that actually have like real tangible value. These are like hype collectibles that are popular on social media for a little bit of a few months or a year and then go away. If you're collecting like true hardcore collectibles, that can definitely serve a purpose and can actually bring you a lot of money. So yeah, that's the tier list. Look, your teens and 20s, in whatever stage you're at in life, they're full of money traps. We have money traps all around us every single day. Some are huge financial sabotage money traps, and others are just little mistakes that we're all going to make at some point in our life. And in my opinion, what I could advise to you guys, do your best to avoid the S tier and potentially the A tier. If there's certain times where you make these mistakes, it's okay. I've made almost everything on this tier list. I've almost made every single mistake myself. So it's something that happens to all of us, and I'm doing pretty well financially. I've learned from all my mistakes. If you make these mistakes, just try to learn from them. And at the end of the day, you're going to live your life how you want to live your life. So instead of wasting money on status symbols or invisible debt, spend it on things that actually improve your life, like your health or your education or just your future in general. So what tier do you think that you've purchased things in? And drop it in the comments. I'd love to see if you guys agree with this tier list or you don't agree with this tier list, where you'd put certain things, or how many of these mistakes that you've made yourself. I appreciate you guys for watching. I'll see you guys for the next video.